Discovering Kazakhstan is Jonathan Newell's unbiased view on culture and the mode of life of Kazakh people, on amazing landscapes and architectural masterpieces all over Kazakhstan.
Today in Discovering Kazakhstan, we've come once more to the city of Almaty. We've been coming here for many years and it's a city that's constantly changing. A few of the people who talk to me about Almaty and about Kazakhstan asked me, well, how do you get around this city once you get there? Well, it's a lot easier now than it used to be, and it's also constantly changing. Even in the last few months since I was last here, it's changed again. And I want to show you today just how good the transport system is here and how sustainable it is. So I thought we'd start in the metro system. It's very new, it's only been open for a few short years, and they've just extended it quite a long way. Absolutely fantastic, I've never seen one like it. It's all new, it's all fresh, and it's all very high technology. Almaty is an interesting town because it's built on a slope. It's also quite a seismic zone. And so therefore the underground system here has to be very, very carefully designed and constructed to make it safe for everybody. The depths of the stations are all different because of the topography of the city. We're in one of the deep stations at the moment, and you can see with this escalator just how deep it is. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Okay?
Thanks. I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Do you
Yes.
like our metro?
Oh, it's fantastic. It's so good. I mean, it's so clean and fresh, isn't it?
Oh, that's very nice to hear from you. Very
Good.
Nice.
This is Jan, and she's the Assistant Press Secretary of the Almaty Metro System. Just ask her one or two questions. So, Jan, the metro is only 4 years old at the moment.
Yeah, it was opened at 1st December of 2011.
Only 4 years.
4 years.
And already it's been expanded. Just this year, there's been 2 more stations.
Yeah, it's 2 more stations, Tram and Moscow. The both of the stations is very similar, but the design of the station, architecture is very similar, but the design of the station is very not in common, because Tram is more classical and Moscow is about the Moscow city, that's capital of the Russia.
Right.
So
now I know that there's an underground railway station in Moscow that's called Almatinsky, and now we've got one called the Moscow.
Moscow, yeah.
So is that an arrangement you've made with them, or is that just by accident?
I think it was by accident because we actually didn't know about it.
It's nice, yeah. Will you have a London one?
Well, maybe, who knows? Yeah, we're a very young metro. Only, as you said, we are only 4 years old, so who knows?
So what's the next plan? Will there be another line, or are you expanding this line that
No, we will
exists?
be expanding this line to the Kalkaman district. So, well, we hope that there will be soon enough in 2017 or 2019.
Great.
So from 2 to 4 more new stations in Kalkaman district. Our passenger count started to expand from 18,000 approximately to 38,000 approximately.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, I can see actually on this train there's a lot of people here.
Yeah,
Last time I was here, there wasn't so many.
hour.
Yeah, it's not rush hour, so I mean it's showing the popularity of the metro, which is great.
Yeah.
Because it's good, it keeps traffic off the road, doesn't it? All of these people would otherwise be using buses or cars.
And it's also very safety, so people choose metro because of safety.
This grand edifice here is the latest station to be built. It's called Moscow Station. And every station that's on this metro system in Almaty is themed. All the stations have some theme or another. And as you can see, this one is themed on the Russian city of Moscow. Well, all these bright vermilion pillars and walls. You can see the castellations on the wall over that side there, to make it look like the Kremlin in Moscow. As impressive as it is, the Underground Railway doesn't solve all of the city's mobility needs, and the roads still play an important role in moving people around. Highway engineering and traffic segregation projects are also taking place in the city to improve conditions for all road users. One project that's underway at the moment in the city of Almaty represents a breakthrough in terms of improvements to mobility and safety and a reduction in emissions in the city, all of which are extremely important. This road here is one of the main commuter routes into the city. It gets packed at rush hour, and it represented a problem. The metro system runs underneath this road. That's already taken quite a lot of the capacity of this road. The buses, you can see, are now running in bus lanes, which means that they're not fighting with other traffic all of the time for priority. People who come in by bus get priority, they get into the city quicker, perhaps more importantly, they get home at the end of the day much more quickly as well. So this is one of the projects that is enhancing the quality of the city and improving the transport system to a more sustainable level. One of Almaty's great advantages is its location at the edge of the impressive Zayeliski Alatau mountain range, a popular place for tourism and weekend recreation, and a place which has also received attention to reduce the pollution caused by road traffic. It isn't just in the town, of course, where the transport system is important. This is a tourist area, and of course you need to move a lot of tourists around. At the moment we're in Medeu, a very famous resort area up in the mountains very near the city of Almaty. And further up the hill, about 4.5 kilometers away, there's the ski resort of Cimbulac, and that became extremely popular in the last few years, especially after the Winter Asian Games that were held here in 2011. Well, there was an ecological problem with shifting all of these cars up to the resort and back again. There were traffic jams here, of course the air wasn't clean, and so they built this cable car. Very high-tech cable car, very good one, very comfortable one, and we're going to go on it now, take a ride up to Cimbulac and see what they've changed up in that area as well. This is perhaps the best way that you could possibly travel. You're not putting anything into the atmosphere, you're not taking anything away, you're just gliding up along this cable car, up high into the Zayeliski Alatau, very picturesque place. To the right there's pine forest higher up, there's pine forests everywhere. It's like an alpine scene, and we're a very long way from the Alps. And further up still, there's the great high peaks of the lower hills of the Tian Shan mountain range. Unfortunately, we can't go right into the Tian Shan, it's too big and it's too high, but this is a perfect little ski resort. From my point of view, I believe that Cimbulac should have much more popularity in the world than it does. It already has a large following, but you know, it's one of the best ski resorts in the world. It's a fantastic place. We've used this cable car now to come up as far as we can come from the city of Almaty. There were 3 different cable cars that came up here. We started down at Medeu and we came up to Cimbulac, and there are 2 more cable cars from there to get to this point here. We're at Talgar Pass at a height of 3,200 meters above sea level, very high, about 2,000 meters higher than the city of Almaty. And all of that distance has been done using public transport. So, you know, even in a place as remote as this, in the Zayeliski Alatau, you can come here by public transport. You don't have to use your car. You don't even have to hike or cycle here. You can just use these fantastic cable cars, which are all fully enclosed. These gondolas are safe, they're comfortable, and they're very quiet and very smooth. So it's very easy transport. And the main thing is, it's a very ecological form of getting up here. The main thing is to avoid the use of cars and buses and all of that kind of transport in these areas, which are very, very ecologically clean, you know. The air here is just absolutely wonderful, and that's the way we want to keep it. This is Jelena Jerzakovic, and she's the head of the Sustainable Transport Project in the city of Almaty. Hello, Jelena.
Hello.
So, I want to talk about a few things that are happening in Almaty, because you've got some very exciting projects about cycling, about reducing emissions through more use of public transport. Tell me about some of that, please.
Our project already designed some new proposal for a bike line, separated bike line, and now we're in the process of designing of real BRT corridor, bus rapid transit corridor. It will run nearby from Orbita area to the cities via city center, and will go outside of the city to the area where it will be a new big bus terminal. And people from Talgar, near suburb, could run this line and go everywhere.
That's great. So you're connecting the population centres, either the suburbs or other regions, to the city centre and thereby reducing the amount of road traffic, yes?
Yes, we have a different solution how to solve the transport problem here.
You mentioned about bicycles in Almaty. What's your vision there? What's your dream for cyclists?
We look at the problems of current bike line along Kabaya Street, discuss all issues with engineers, and we invite engineers from Netherlands. It's
Right, yes. Well, of course.
a world famous cycling country.
Yes.
And they assist us, they work with the local engineers during 1 year, and we design a new bike line pilot project. Very interesting because we try to combine BRT bus rapid transit system and with a separated bike line and create a green corridor. We call it green corridor.
Great.
Yes,
Yeah.
it will be a big advantage if we will finally do it. We will do it because it will be segregated bus line with all kinds of facilities that will assist cyclists to use it safely. I hope next year we will start development.
They may be old and they may sometimes seem rickety, but the much-loved Almaty tram network is still going strong and represents an important part of the city's sustainable transport regime. The city transport engineers of a bygone era would probably not have foreseen that the tram system would be used to entertain future city residents as well as provide them with transport. Well, this is no ordinary tram, it's something unique. This is the party tram. Everybody's talking about this at the moment. It's a tram where you can go and sit on it, take a trip around the evening city sights of Almaty and have a bite to eat. Let's go and see what this old piece of ecological transport is all about. You know, the tram system in Almaty is part of the character of the city. Everybody who lives here knows about the trams as public transport system, and everybody actually loves these trams. Even the people who have cars, the people who don't really use them, they wouldn't really want the city to be without them. So this particular tram has been converted into a cafe, and I like the style of it. I like trams particularly, but they've done all of this out. They've put wood panelling up here. They've made these nice wooden tables, very comfortable seats, and it makes for an ideal venue just to come and sit and have a cup of coffee or a meal with your friends and just enjoy a few of the sights of the city, particularly in the summer when it's still light in the evening as it is now. You can still see what's going on in the city, and you don't care about the rush of traffic, you don't care about anything like that because you've got this old music playing and you've got the romanticism of riding around the city on a tram. So the waitress has brought me a nice iced cappuccino, which is perfect for a nice hot summer night. Keeps me cool, keeps me awake. Well, you can see that in Almaty now the general transport system is much better. We've got the bus lanes, we've got the cycle path here, and we've got the segregated pedestrian area. It's very good for the sustainable system of transport of the future, much better than it was 10 years ago. Well, let's see how it develops. I'm sure it'll get much better in the future. Well, there's a lot more to show you both here in the city of Almaty and generally in the country, and I hope you'll join me again to see more of it as we go around and discover Kazakhstan. Goodbye.